is mock draft time. What is going on, y'all? FaizSportsTalk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NFL. So if you're an NFL fan, what are you doing? Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the big red subscribe button down below. Turn on my post notifications and follow me on my social media. Links down below on the screen for my Twitter, my Instagram. Reach out to me, ask questions, whatever it is. Here for you guys. Okay, it's that time. Less than a month away from the NFL draft. Let's talk about it. What should we expect? What should we look forward to? And obviously, give you guys my mock draft. So let's get started. Okay, my mock draft will be on the screen in a few moments. But before I do that, let me just point out two quick things. Number one, this is just for the first round, folks. I'd love to do this for all 7 rounds, but the video would probably be about, an hour long. And so just for the purposes of that, only doing the first round. And number two, no trades. Look, predicting and doing a mock draft is already as hard as it is. There's guys out there that actually do this for a living, and guys like Todd McShay and Mel Kiper, and even they don't get all the picks right. So to me, I just kept it simple, no trades, even though I know they will happen. So without further ado, here is the mock draft on your screen right now. And obviously you see picks 1 through 32. Now, funny enough, I will tell you this, is even though I've got the draft order set up, I really don't think this draft starts at number 1. I believe this draft starts at number 4. Why? Because I believe the first 3 picks are pretty much set in Joe Burrow, Chase Young, and Jeff Udoka. Okay? Now, with Joe Burrow, this is the worst kept secret in all of football. The Bengals are going to trade him. Now, we've heard rumors even today that there's potential that the Dolphins could trade the Bengals for number 1 pick, give them a boatload of picks. The Dolphins do have a boatload of picks. I believe they've got like 2 firsts and 2 seconds next year. But here's the thing. I don't buy it. The Bengals know Joe Burrow's their guy. And I believe they're just set on him. So I do believe they are going to draft him. And let's just start right there, obviously, with Joe Burrow and talk about the fact that, look, Joe Burrow, obviously, one of, if not the greatest college football seasons in college football history at LSU. We know that. We get that. But here's the thing with Joe Burrow. Do I believe at the NFL level we are looking at the next Patrick Mahomes, Andrew Luck type player? No, I do not. I believe Joe Burrow will be a very solid starting quarterback in the NFL. But to me, he doesn't possess that elite arm level talent. He can make all the throws. He's got good vision. He can do all that. But again, we're talking about guys like I mentioned, like Patrick Mahomes or Andrew Luck. So here's the thing. The Bengals are getting a very good, solid player, but I don't want the expectations to be day one they're getting a Hall of Famer. I do think he'll be good, but we're looking at more of a Matt Ryan, a Dak Prescott, maybe not so much in playing style, but more so in the fact that everybody thinks Dak Prescott's a very good NFL starter, but they don't think he's an absolute superstar top 3 quarterback. So to me, Joe Burrow obviously going to be very, very good, but not to the level I believe that the hype is there for him. Again, like I said, great vision. He can make all the throws, doesn't have the elite arm level talent, but no complaints here. The Bengals need a quarterback, and Joe Burrow is their guy. Let's move on to number 2, Chase Young, the defensive end out of Ohio State. Look, he is the best prospect in this draft. If the NFL wasn't a quarterback league, Chase Young would be the number 1 overall pick. He is the best player in this draft. That is not up for debate, okay? And the only reason he's going number 2 is because, again, Joe Burrow plays quarterback and Chase Young does not, okay? And so he's going to go to the Washington Redskins. They're just going to take the best player available. Moving on to number 3, the Detroit Lions take Jeff Udoka. Again, like I said, he is the best cornerback in the NFL draft. The Lions just traded away Darius Slay, so they certainly have a need now, and they will take him. Not much analysis needed there. Now, like I mentioned, the draft really starts at number 4 with the New York Football Giants. And who will they take? Well, I believe they will take BPA, best player available. And that is the freak from Clemson. And I mean freak in the nicest way possible. Isaiah Simmons, who can do it all. He is phenomenal. And look, the Giants could go, address their offensive line to be able to protect Daniel Jones and whatnot. But they're just, again, they're adding freaks here in Isaiah Simmons. He's the best player available. This is kind of like the Saquon Barkley thing where they took Saquon, even though they had a need at running back, but they needed a quarterback at that time. So to me, I think they take Isaiah Simmons. Let's move on to number 5 and talk about 5 and 6 interchangeably, because I believe these picks could be switched. We've got Tua Tagovailoa, and I always botch his last name, but we'll just say Tua, and then Justin Herbert, okay, out of Oregon. Now, I've got Tua going to the Dolphins and Justin Herbert going to the Chargers. Here's my thing. These picks could flip-flop, okay? Both of them could go to the opposite teams. We know Tua is the better prospect, better dual threat quarterback, release, accuracy, touch, all there. Justin Herbert, we know, doesn't have the best ball placement, but he can throw on the run as well. But we know with Tua, it's all about durability. Durability is the biggest thing for Tua. And if teams were, confident that his medical reports were checked out and he would be healthy, if Tua was like fully healthy, like people knew that he was not going to have any issues after that hip injury, I mean, he could potentially have gone number 1. So to me, that's the deal here. And so with the Dolphins, they do need a quarterback. They've got Ryan Fitzpatrick, but we all know he's a bridge quarterback. So to me, I'll go Tua, and then I will go Justin Herbert to the Chargers, who also need a quarterback as well. And Justin Herbert is a very solid prospect. He's got the tools. He just needs to clean things up a little bit. Okay, moving on, 7 and 8. I've got offensive linemen being taken here. Again, logic here says the Panthers want to protect Teddy Bridgewater. Tristan Wirfs is the best offensive line prospect in this draft out of Iowa. And then Arizona, I had them taking a receiver, but they don't need one anymore with DeAndre Hopkins in that robbery they committed with the Houston Texans. So I've got them taking an offensive line, Andrew Thomas from Georgia, to help protect Kyler Murray. And then moving on to number 9, Jacksonville, I've got them taking the defensive tackle out of Auburn in Derrick Brown, who's got great size, very disruptive, is going to add to that defense. So again, another best player available. And rounding out the top 10, I've got the Browns shoring up their offensive line as well with Mekhi Becton from Louisville. Okay, so those are my first 10 picks. And now the draft gets interesting. Oh, does it get interesting, because we get the receivers now. And there's 3 receivers in this draft that are going to obviously go in the first round. And Jerry Jeudy, CeeDee Lamb, and Henry Ruggs, okay? And those 3 are been very highly debated on who is the best receiver and who is the best out of the 3 and who should go and where. And now, starting at 11 with the Jets, I've got Jerry Jeudy, the receiver from Alabama, going there. Now, look, I personally felt like there wasn't that much difference. Now, I believe it was between Jeudy and CeeDee Lamb for best receiver in the draft. I believe Henry Ruggs is more of a speedster type, a little bit of a specialist, if you will. So I was going Lamb versus Jerry Jeudy. But after, doing my research, after looking at a lot of the scouting reports, and after looking at another guy I trust in Greg Cosell, who's one of the best scouting prospects guys out there, one of the best football guys out there, he said in his scouting report, and this is without a doubt, that Jerry Jeudy is the best wide receiver in this draft, and there is not a close second. That is what Greg Cosell said, and I trust him a lot. He's a very good NFL guy. You can just go look him up. And so to me, I mean, logic then says I think the Jets take him at number 11. They need a receiver. They lost Robbie Anderson. I mean, they don't have a number 1 receiver right now. Jamison Crowder, I'm sorry, he's not a number 1 receiver. You got to give Sam Darnold some talent around him. So I'm going to go with Jerry Jeudy going to the Jets, okay, best receiver in this draft. And then at number 12, you've got the Raiders. I believe they will take CeeDee Lamb now. They'll just take whoever the Jets don't, right? If the Jets take Lamb, they'll take Jerry Jeudy, and so they'll take CeeDee Lamb. And then at 13, to the 49ers, I believe they'll take Henry Ruggs. We all know he's a speedster, ran a 4.27. And so the 49ers all need a wide receiver as well. They lost Emmanuel Sanders. The Raiders need a wide receiver. They don't really have anybody outside of Tyrell Williams. And so all three teams get receivers at positions, or I should say, when they need them, okay? And all three guys are very, very good. But the order is Jerry Jeudy, CeeDee Lamb, and then Henry Ruggs. And now moving on to 14, we've got Tampa Bay drafting here. Now, I have them taking an offensive lineman to help shore up the line for Tom Brady. It is all about protection, 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 okay? And then moving on, we've got the Broncos here. I have them taking Levon Chason out of LSU. He's fluid, agile, can change direction quick. Going to really help that defense. 16, the Falcons really need to shore up that defense. That defense was awful last year. I have them taking the cornerback, C.J. Henderson. Now, I have Trayvon Diggs going next to Dallas, but these two cornerbacks could kind of interchange here. Both are very good corners. C.J. Henderson, agile, great footwork. Trayvon Diggs, ball skills are out of this world. Strength, disruptive, he's great. And so Dallas lost Byron Jones. Falcons, need to shore up their defense. So I have them both taking cornerbacks here. And then moving on to number 18, we've got the Dolphins here. I do believe they will draft an offensive lineman here to get some protection here. And then I'm going to skip a couple picks here. Go to the Philadelphia Eagles at number 21. I have them taking a receiver here because they need to surround Carson Wentz with some more receivers. They lost Nelson Aguilar, though I don't think Philly fans will say that's much of a loss. But really, outside of Alshon Jeffrey, who do you have, okay? And we know Alshon Jeffrey's a bit injury prone. And so I have them taking T. Higgins out of Clemson. Look, to me, good body control, ball skills are crazy. I think he can help right away. So I have him going there. And then I have another receiver going at 22 in Justin Jefferson out of LSU. He's not great on the outside, but from the slot, I think he can really help. He's got decent speed, good separation here. We know the Vikings lost Stephon Diggs, so he could help right away. I don't care what you say. Tajay Sharp is not a number 2 receiver behind Adam Thielen. At number 23, I've got another quarterback here to the Patriots. Look, it's a wild card, Jordan Love. We don't know. Patriots could just take BPA, best player available, but they lost Tom Brady. Jared Stidham is next in line, but, why not? Bill Belichick could take a stab here at a wild card, and Jordan Love is a wild card, but he's got a good arm, and he's got the skills. They just need to improve his decision-making, but I believe he's got the talent there. And then finally, rounding out the last 5 to 7 picks, the Saints taking Yater Gross-Matos from Penn State. Good athleticism, twitchy. He's got good length. Then I've got another receiver going to the Dolphins. Really, the Dolphins just have Devontae Parker. They could use another receiver. Denzel Mims from Baylor. He's been rising up in a lot of mock drafts, okay? Great outside receiver, good size. Catch radius is crazy. I've got the Seahawks taking an offensive lineman and Cesar Ruiz. They need to shore up the line for Russell Wilson. And then another receiver at 30, Green Bay takes Jalen Reagor from TCU. He's got blazing speed, folks, okay? He did pretty well even with questionable quarterback play. He's electric with the ball in his hand, so I like it a lot. And then finally, rounding out the first round, KC, I have him taking a cornerback, Damon Arnett. So there you have it. My mock draft picks 1 through 32. So hopefully you guys liked that video. If you guys did, please leave a comment down below. Do you agree or disagree with any picks? Now, look, there's a bunch of these guys that could go in the early second, bunch of early second guys that I left out that could go in the back end of the first. It's a very fluid process. But point being is this draft, deep on receiver, questionable talent elsewhere, I would say, but for the most part, I do think it is fairly deep here, and I like it. So let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below if you agree or disagree, folks. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe as always. See you guys next time.